And, obviously, you could make your decision based upon the evidence and the law and not on the basis of any potential demonstrations. Would you be able to do that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You did not respond to the question, I support defunding the police. The question, it's easy to miss these. So it's strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, no opinion, somewhat agree, and strongly agree. Or no opinion if you don't have
I
one.
don't have an opinion for it.
Okay. You also responded to the question, because law enforcement officers have such dangerous jobs, it is not right to second-guess decisions they make while on duty. And you indicated that you strongly agreed with that statement. Did you intend to have that response?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you also recognize that, there may be situations where decisions that they make on duty should be second-guessed?
Well,
Let me rephrase that. That was a bad question. Do you believe that law enforcement officers should never be held accountable for what they do while on duty?
I believe they should be held accountable.
Yes, Your Honor, again, could you speak into the mic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I believe police officers should be held accountable for what they do on duty.
Okay, thank you. Juror number 4, do you think you could be fair and impartial in this case?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything you can think of that we should know about you?
I guess I can say can relate to the person that was had passed away in this case. I'm a mother of 3.
You what?
I'm a mother of 3.
Okay. All right. But you indicated earlier that sympathy can't have anything to do with your decision as to whether or not the state's proved the case beyond a reasonable doubt, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's natural. But when you're a juror, you need to focus on the evidence and the law.
Okay.
All right. The defense may proceed. I apologize. We're having technical difficulties here. You're excused from this panel, but thank you very much. You don't have to go back upstairs, okay? So you can just leave, all right? But thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you responding to the summons. Have a great rest of the day, okay? Please have a seat, and you may take your mask off while you're in the witness chair. Okay, so thank you for filling out the questionnaire. You provided very specific answers. It looks like you've read and seen a lot of news reports on this case, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and that you have developed certain impressions, somewhat positive, of defendant Kimberly Potter, and very negative on what you've heard, read, or seen about Dante Wright. I guess my question is this. No matter what you've seen or heard in this case, would you be able to basically set that aside and recognize that you do have opinions and listen to the evidence in the case and follow the instructions of law that I give you and base your decision solely on the evidence and the law as I give it to you?
I would do my best.
Okay. Can you tell me what difficulty you would have in doing that?
I've just read a lot of information about the what happened and what some of the other things that happened prior to the incident before I ever was notified about this summons. So I read the news and I follow a lot of what happens and what's going on.
Well, you're really well informed and have watched the news reports and read news reports on this. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I guess I'm not doing this very well, but I'm trying to determine whether or not, notwithstanding the opinions that you have and the impressions that you have about what happened, you can just look at what's presented in court and base your decision on what's presented in court as far as the evidence goes. For example, you indicated that you knew of some of the alleged crimes that were committed by Mr. Wright. Now, if that isn't an evidence in the case, you'll be instructed that you can't consider that in determining whether or not the state has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Will you be able to do that?
I'll do my best.
Okay. I guess I need to have you say something more positive than that, if you can.
I'm just trying to be honest. I've read a lot of information, and I don't want to mislead anyone. So that's why I said. I mean, I'm here doing my civic duty, and I do it kind of for my kids to show that this is what you do. But I've also, like I've said, I've read a lot of information, and I'll do my best.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm trying to not make up excuses or why not to come to jury duty. And like I said, I'm trying to set an example for my kids. So.
Well, you set a good example for your kids just by showing up. All right. You also indicated that our community is a mess because of these protests and that you don't feel safe in the city of Minneapolis anymore. Is that going to affect your decision as to whether or not the state has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt?
No.
Okay. Now, you indicated your father-in-law is an attorney. Does he do criminal law?
He's a judge as well. He's retired now.
Oh, okay. Was
Yeah.
he a judge in Hennepin County?
No, in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a state judge and then a federal judge.
All right.
And actually, I also forgot my cousin is a judge in Minnesota, and I forgot to put that in there. So,
Okay. And I take it that they both do criminal law.
she is more tax and I don't think she's a judge now. I think she works at the U.
Okay. And your father-in-law, did you?
He did criminal. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a lot of contact with your father-in-law?
Oh yeah, he's coming to town next week. So yeah, when we were there Labor Day weekend, and we go there in the summer. That's my wife's from Michigan, so go back to visit.
And how long has he been on the bench?
Oh boy, probably 30 years.
Okay. You stated that you've served on a jury in a criminal case in 1996 and 1997 in Hennepin here.
It was a civil case. If I put criminal, I misspoke. Civil.
Civil.
Yeah.
Now, there's a completely different burden of proof in a civil case.
Mm-hmm.
The burden of proof in a civil case is preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not. And of course, the criminal burden of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Can you forget everything you learned about the civil burden of proof and apply the criminal?
Yes.
Okay. In response to the question, the jury must decide the case solely on the evidence and not because of bias, passion, prejudice, or sympathy. I asked, would you be able to follow this principle? And you said you weren't sure.
Yes, I would.
You would. Okay, so you meant to say you would follow that
Yes.
principle. Okay. You coach youth hockey, and you indicated that it might be a hardship for you to serve because you coach youth hockey. Are you the coach, or do you?
Yes. Yeah, assistant coach.
Okay. So there are other people that could coach these kids.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your honesty.
Okay.
All right. Counsel? Sir, thank you for your candor. You're going to be excused from this panel.
Okay.
You don't have to go back upstairs, all right? So,
Or, you mean back downstairs, or?
yeah, you don't have to go back downstairs. So, you're done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.